Hey, what's up, you guys? Good to be back. It's good to be back once again. And we got another one down in the platinum books. 007 First Light. James Bond, where have you been, my boy? It's been roughly 12 years since I last played the most recent James Bond game. Besides GoldenEye when they brought it to Xbox. But here in 007 First Light, this is a smooth, easy platinum. You might as well kick your feet up and enjoy the ride, because this game's difficulty is about a 3 out of 10, I would say. The only difficulty factor in this game is just you needing to collect things. In terms of the enjoyment, I'm gonna give this a solid 8. But it's about roughly 96 different collectible items across the span of the entire game. They aren't too hard to come by, seeing as to how this game has level select. Not only does this game have level select, but it also has like the checkpoints within each chapter for you to start wherever you need to be when you look up where these collectibles are. You don't have to, like, you know, play an entire chapter over from the beginning. You can just jump around and just play like one of your favorite parts, or just get to the spot you need to get intel, cards, you know, stuff like that. But that's the only thing that was like, oh, this is kind of hard, or not hard, but oh, this is kind of, you know, tedious and difficult in a way. But other than that, you'll have a fun time. You have your miscellaneous trophies where you have to do like certain things to enemies, such as like push them off of a cliff, detonate a grenade before they throw it. There's quite a few other ones that I can't remember off the top of my dome, but yeah, this game's platinum was pretty fun overall. The only thing that really, like, I guess made me a little bored of the game a little bit was just like the beginning of the levels. It's when it's downtime, it's really a downtime for you to like sort of talk to people, or just for you to get to certain sections. This game isn't all action. You kind of do have to pay attention to like little details if you want to get to point A to point B as fast as possible. And that's the thing about this game too, in terms of like its objectives. When you they tell you what to do, but they don't tell you how to do it, which is pretty cool. This is like one of the first games I think that like really did that for me, at least in this style or format. They'll tell you something like get past these guards, or like get into the casino room. I'm just saying something random. Get into the casino room, but there's guards right in front, and there's another set of guards that'll turn you away. You can't use your weapon, also, not yet. You can't use your weapon until they pull out their weapon to try to kill you. Then you have the license to kill. But yeah, they'll have things like, you know, you got to get around these guards, but you just can't get there yet until you get this item. Maybe you need to distract them with like a fire in a barrel, or maybe you should go over here, play this little mini game, sell this piece to get a certain amount of money to get past these people. Like it's I would say like the main objective has like about like 4 to 6 different sub objectives for you to get to that main objective, which I think is really creative and interesting in its own way. The gunplay is honestly really satisfying. It's really satisfying, and I'm glad that they didn't like milk the action in the game across the entire game, because it does make sense if you're a spy and they give you the option of like, maybe you don't have to get your hands dirty. Let's see if you're able to pay attention to little details on this little note, or maybe you should look at the car to see the code, which would be to a safe to get you a key. Like, it's just several different ways for you to attack this game's like main objective, which is pretty cool. Did I say the enjoyment? Yeah, I did say the enjoyment. That's the reason why I Anyway, cut that. Nah, let me stop. But continuing on, this game is really, really thrilling across. I didn't gonna say across the board, but this game is really thrilling from when it really starts to jump into its action sequences. It's really interesting, bro. You got points where you're jumping out of a plane, you're driving a big old, I forgot what it's called when you're doing construction, but it's a huge truck that you put a whole bunch of concrete in. You're driving it through this construction site. It's It's real cool. And I think that's the clip that I'm using right now so you guys can see, or it might happen later on in the video. But based on the end of the game, it says James Bond will return. Spoilers. Maybe that shouldn't be spoilers. But you could tell that they were trying to reboot James Bond to basically create their own set of sequels and push forward, detaching themselves from the movies, which we haven't gotten a James Bond movie in quite some time. So this was First Light. So this was his introduction to becoming a spy. And at the very end of the game, you finally get called 007. At first, she tried to call you 001, M. She tried to call you 001, but James Bond was like, nah, I'm the 7th person, so I think I should be 007. You know, trying to build up that sort of, I guess, I'm not going to say hype, but just that moment of you're finally 007. Welcome to the squad. But, yeah, man, I think my favorite set of guns, let me see, the sniper was really freaking strong. If you're gonna have these armored enemies come up to you, and they do take a little bit of bullets to get their helmet or just certain pieces off. But with the sniper, if you aim it right at their head, it has armor piercing, so it pierces right through, and you can just mow down a whole bunch of enemies. The driving in this game was really nice, really controlled. I didn't feel like it was like a GTA 4 type of driving thing. Nothing felt like heavy or nothing like that. It was really, really good, especially during the driving sequences where you had to like chase somebody, or towards the end of the game where you finally got into your James Bond car, which, hey, that car looked clean, bro. I think it was a Porsche or something like that, but it was like a version, like a sports car, and instead of James Bond, like typical, I forgot what the car is called, but you guys know what car I'm talking about. I'm gonna try to put a picture up on the screen, but yeah, man, this was a really fun experience. I did have moments where I was like, I'm tired of talking to these people. I just want to get back to the action, because the action was so fun that I wanted it to continue. But then you had to, get to the action from spying through things and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think that's all I have to say for now. I think it's time for me to hop into Hollow Knight for my next platinum, and then possibly Halo after that. There's a slew of games I have to get to, but let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of James Bond. If you've played it, if you haven't, what do you like so far? Did I bring you interest in buying the games, etc, etc? Let me know. Make sure you give the video a like or a dislike. It's to your liking as always, as well as the hype button. Don't forget about the hype button, please. And subscribe, because I need that. Peace.